What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel of Villain Fishing. This will be the first video of three, mainly focused on the brand new 60th anniversary Daiwa Tatula 100XH, or I should say XS, a high speed. So, back in January, let me just give a little bit of detail before I start showcasing the reel. Back in January, I was uh, receiving emails from a um, I'm going to leave out for the dignity of the place I had purchased these two reels from. Actually, let me get the other one in there just for that hell of it. So, I received an email from someone at a tackle shop I work with, um, non affiliated, about a reel that Daiwa was coming out with as an anniversary Tatula reel. So, we all know about the 50th anniversary Type R that had been released a couple years ago. And here we are with the 60th anniversary Tatula 100, based solely off of the um, 100 that they have just released. So, here is the new 60th anniversary Daiwa Tatula with the infamous red spider on the side. If I could get some better lighting. There we go. We'll show off that red spider. So, there are a couple things about this reel versus others that are definitely different. The original 100, which I should actually go get, um, should go get my father's. I gave him my original 100, uh, which is this one's based off of. So, not only is the paint job on the side different, you have the red spider, which really blends in well with the red gaskets for the clutch bar, kind of mixes well. But it also blends in well with the 60th anniversary badge and these. I kind of wish they had made this red, the lettering. Even though the silver is cool, the red lettering would have been really cool. 90mm handle has the new grips from Daiwa. They don't have the Daiwa label anymore, which was kind of cool, but in and of itself was kind of outdated. So finally, time for them to bring out a new grip. The new Daiwa logo on top, which they've no longer produced them for at least the special edition on the front face. Now, a little bit of background info on this reel. Only 3,000 were produced. I have number, let's see here, 2,395 of 3,000. And I'm not completely sure about this one up here. I know this is the bottom box is for this guy here, which I'll put here just for the sake of a thumbnail or something. We'll have to figure something out. Anywho, more little background info on the little bit more info on the Tatula 100 60th anniversary. The original 100 was based off of the Steez, the body framing anyway, naming it the Baby Steez. So it is smaller, lighter, and really durable. So I'm going to steal this box. Now, the specs on them are an 8-to-1 gear ratio, which was already known. Now, it is the same weight and has the same drag as the 100. So you got a 6.9 ounce frame, or altogether, I should say 6.9 ounces, and has an 11-pound drag. Also has the same specs as the 100 in line, 12-pound monofilament for 150 yards. 14-pound for 125 yards, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. The other reels that I've had in my day, a little bit earlier than this one, definitely had the same specs. Or I shouldn't say the same specs, but a little bit heavier drag, a little bit lighter. But that's also other reels. But that's not the point of the video. The whole point of the video is about this exact reel. Now, there is nothing different between the two that I have right now. In a couple weeks, this will be fully tuned to exactly what the tension should be at. Not all Tatula 100s come with the preset tension like the DC does by Shimano. So you do have to play with the tension knob in order to get a perfect setting. The original 100 that I had before this one, I did get to that perfect setting. So hopefully I can get this one to do the same. But it's not a bad looking reel. But the one thing I do want to point out, this one does have a very different frame to it. So if you look at this one, oh boy, I got everything rolling at me. So if you look at this one, you'll see that there are two different tones to the side plate and to the actual frame. See what I mean? It's kind of a glossy black, and then a glossy gray, black kind of coloring. Now that makes the frame super tacky, even underneath. See how it's kind of a different tone? You got the gray, black, gray, black. You can even see it right there, the two different tones. That is actually coated to make it a lot more tackier. Kind of like the grips, it makes it super tacky. Where the side plate isn't so bad. So that's one thing that I really, really like about the new 100 special edition. That it is tackier than the standard one. So you do have better grip, and it works the same. So enough B-roll on the reel. Let's take it apart. Let me at least get the lighting a little bit better here. I'm not going to take it all the way down like I usually work on reels. Usually I take it all the way down to the clutch. I'm not going to do that today in this video, just for the purposes of keeping it short. So I know everybody doesn't have the time to watch an hour-long video unless you're in school, and which you shouldn't be watching YouTube in school. I know I did it all the time, but it doesn't mean to go do it. So it's got the same build on the crankshaft for the drag as the 100, which I'm not surprised. Boy, it's raining heavy outside. Welcome to Midwest weather. Boy, they really put these things in tight. Need a little bit bigger screwdriver. Daiwa, I would really appreciate Phillips head screwdrivers, or screws, so I don't end up breaking one of these off, because I've done that with flatheads, breaking the blade off. There's one. Nice. Saw that comment there. Custom rods are always fun. So are custom reels, but custom rods are fun also. I don't think you see as many custom rods as you do reels these days. You know, back in the day, they used to be really popular. You know, make your own rod. Some rods were even sold like that. My great grandfather, before he passed away, had a custom built glass rod. It was something by Fenwick. Boy, Daiwa, you really gotta open these ports up for these things. These things. Holy crap. Durable, yes, but talk about precision cutting. I got a custom rod builder I can contact. I don't think I'm going to do any custom rods, mainly because most of my content is reels, because that's really what people watch on my channel. But there we go. Okay, so a little bit different from the original 100. Um, Definitely a lot more plastic. Now, every reel that you purchase these days definitely will have plastic, so don't play off as having a reel that you have as full metal components. Um, That's how we used to sell reels back in the day. Oh, this one doesn't have as much plastic. Well, all reels definitely do have plastic. This one's just a lot more prettier looking inside. So it does offer a two-way clutch, or at least a dual clutch, as most of us say. You know, click it once, click it back with the clutch bar. But I definitely like it. I really like how the gears are cut to that gold look. Let's take the gear off anyway. I know it's the same as the 100, at least the internals, but for the people that have not seen inside these guys, here's your video. So anyway, let me put this back together. And while I'm doing that, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be waking up super early in order to make a video with my buddy. He's your Daiwa fanboy. And he and I will be making a video on this. Now, one thing I will say, I definitely like a lot of washers. This one only has one in here, as you can see. My Garcias. I'm a huge Revo fan. I also like Daiwa. Don't get me wrong, Daiwas are really well built. They're precision compared to mass production. But I do like my Garcias still. My Revos have a couple washers, and they make a definitely they definitely make a heavy drag. And I really like that, especially being that I have heavy hook sets. Even though I should probably go back to a lighter drag, just for the sake of lips. But it's only got one washer. Well, two if you had the pressure washer. But you only have one washer, and then you have your main gear. Honestly, it'd be really cool to get a couple washers in there. Maybe I'll have to order some. Have to do something. We'll have to redneck it. To anybody that's a buddy of mine, you know that slang. Anywho, Let me get it back together here. While I'm in here, do some tuning. Not really tuning, but I like to work on my reels with a little bit of oil. I know a lot of people like to keep their reels stock, and they don't usually get them cleaned. You know, some people don't get them cleaned, some do. Really depends. But oh boy, where's my part here? Oh, it's still in the side plate. So anyway, again, I know a lot of people don't like to service their own reels. They like to have it done by somebody else that knows what they're doing. I'm not saying that I do. You know, I just screw around with reels for fun. Also, as work for a local tackle shop. Clean up the spare grease. Definitely, if you're going to work on reels, definitely get one of these stands, even though it can be a little lopsided sometimes. There it goes. It finally, for once, a reel has stood perfectly still on that. I've never had a reel stand perfectly upright. Oh, and Daiwa, that's a really nice concept. Even though it's a pain in the butt to get out, keeps your bearings in place there. And I definitely like that one-way clutch. It's definitely got enough bars to keep it locked in there. I need this part. So that's the inside of a Daiwa Tatula 100, the special edition. Let's see here. I at least want to get the screws in first. That way I can play with everything. It's funny to see how far reels have come from, you know, the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, even the 90s. Look at, you know, the Shimano reels that were out during the 90s. And then to see what they've come out with today is so unreal and so cool. You know, Daiwa with the T-wing. Speaking of the T-wing, should I think about getting a ballistic casting reel? You know, the ballistic T3. I have a chance to purchase one. I'm not sure. It's in a 7-gear ratio though. That's back when the T-wing was stationary and not flippable like this one is. I think I'll just stick with the modern ones. But I definitely do like how the parts on this one definitely do sparkle. I know the 100 ones weren't as nice looking as these are. A Daiwa Tatula, or not even a Tatula, a Daiwa Ballistic T3. It was a reel made back probably in the 2011 era of reels. I know it's not really an era of reels, but back when reels weren't so advanced as they are today. Yeah, the ballistic. It was a. I can't remember how many models they made, but they made I think 2 or 3 different ones. Um, instead of having the T-wing pop down, it had the whole front face that would pop up. Um, a lot of people liked it for flipping. because all you had to do was press down on the front face and it would pop back down. I just feel like I'd break that T-wing off, with the more modern ones. I feel like I'm going to break it off. Now, of course, I could be definitely wrong, but I just feel like with the hook sets that I have versus that T-wing would definitely destroy the guide on that. Let's see here. Let's see here. There we go. I need to find a new way to hold my phone. All right. So while I'm at it, might as well get some different oil in the other bearings. Though I probably should take and at least dry them off a little bit. I don't feel like really taking this thing all the way down apart tonight. I actually have some more reels to clean. So, get this one, even though this one doesn't help with casting that much. There we go. Give me a All right. Should free spool a lot better now. Yeah, it's free spooling a hell of a lot better than it did right out of the box. Let me work it in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That oil really helps open up reels. Now, I'm not making a shout out to the person that makes this oil, but it definitely helps on all the bearings to get this thing going. Even after a delayed start. So anyway, future plans with the reel. I'm actually thinking about doing some custom work with it. Now I'm keeping this one totally stock. This one's brand new. I haven't even opened that package to see what serial number is on that reel, and I don't plan on opening it for a while. Hopefully it's a low number, but I'm gonna guess it's in the 2,000 range, um, out of the 3,000 that were made. Now I did add some oil to it, some aftermarket oil, so I did open it up a little bit more, and it will help it cast a little bit farther. Now, I personally like having that on my reels just to keep them, a little bit more open than they do stock. So my buddy, who has the completely stock one now, he'll have to do a comparison between the tuned versus um, the stock one after I do my tuning work with it. So anyway, what I'm planning on doing with the reel, not only making content with it, but that handlebar is a 90 millimeter aluminum, of course, stock handlebar. The one that I'm going to be putting on there is a 95 millimeter carbon fiber handle. And on top of that, lets these fit on there so I won't have to buy the $50 plus uh, Sensi pads from Spool Speed Bearings. I'll be able to get the $25 carbon fiber instead of the 75 and billet aluminum paddled handlebar. So that will spice things up a little bit with the reel. But otherwise, I really don't think that I'm going to change anything. I'm going to keep the bearings stock, of course, unless I blow them up. But they shouldn't. They should be just fine. So, real quick, thing won't stay. Okay, there we go. Anywho, that's gonna be it for tonight, at least for the reel. Now, I do have a little bit more details. Tomorrow morning, my buddy and I will actually be going out to a lake. Nothing special, just a small little lake in town. That way I can get him to school on time. He's got a 7:15 a.m. start, and we'll have to film before we go. But here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get up tomorrow morning with him. I'm gonna go pick him up. We'll drive to the lake, and we will do a on the water video about the reel. Now I'm not sure completely about the lighting issue. That's definitely gonna have to be an issue for quite a bit until I can finally get some cash flowing. But thank God for work. Anyway, that is the Tatula 100 limited edition 60th anniversary 100. Now, this is part one of three. This is the first video. The second one will be tomorrow morning. And the third one, we'll have to do a comparison between a completely stock 100 versus this one, the special edition. And on top of that, a comparison between a tuned 100 versus a stock 100. Of course, the limited edition ones. So, anyway, that's going to be all for tonight. I'm going to keep the video kind of short, even though it is almost half an hour long. And anyway, guys, just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that has made this channel possible. Not only my viewers and followers, but also want to tag some companies. I got Swagger Tackle for my tungsten. Absolute best tungsten that I've ever thrown in my life. Absolutely the best price for any budget angler. I mean, a 1 ounce tungsten weight is $4.50 compared to $10 a piece, and a definitely quality piece. Second, I got Gambler lures. I don't have any swim baits nearby. Oh, I lied. Gambler lures for their easy swimmer. Absolutely love them. Third, I got my Aquaflage company, which I can't put a t-shirt up here, but my jerseys come from Aquaflage, and they've helped make this channel possible with some advertising. Lure Lock, which is one of my newer pro staff positions. Thank you to Lure Lock and everybody at their team for making some advertisements for the channel. And on top of that, I also want to add in Fishing Connection, my tackle shop that I work with in Tinley Park, Illinois, where you can purchase one of these brand new for 170, and Greg will definitely hook you up with some good line. It has a nice selection for a small tackle shop. Thank you guys for making it on Instagram. Going from only a few followers to the couple of hundreds that I have, the couple hundreds that I have today, and I just want to thank everybody that's made this little endeavor possible for me and my friend, and that's gonna be it for the video. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody again for viewing the video. Smash the like button. You don't have to, but I would absolutely love it. And definitely subscribe for better content down the road. And tomorrow morning, you will also see the video for the Tatula 100 LE, basically the limited edition. Tomorrow morning, I will be posting that or live streaming it. I'm not sure completely just yet. But there you go, guys. The limited edition Tatula 100. Good night.